Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And thank you to Kelly and Erica for allowing us to present this morning. We're very excited about what we're going to be providing you. And today we're going to discuss the two key elements for your marketing strategy to help you grow your business through 2020, through this crazy ride that we're on in 2020 and beyond. My partners today that will be presenting will be Ali Ahmad, and Ali Ahmad is our digital sales manager for Beasley Media Group Tampa. Von Seal Anderson, who is our event marketing director for Beasley Media Group Tampa. Both are experts in their field, very experienced, very knowledgeable, and they'll provide a lot of good content for you this morning. Just a brief overview of Beasley Media Group. For those of you that aren't familiar with our company, very quickly, because this will be educational, but just so you know who we are. Beasley Media Group started back in 1961. George Beasley actually started his first radio station in Benson, North Carolina, back in 1961. Now we've grown to 64 stations strong in 15 markets, reaching over
First one in here.
$1 million consumers every week.
So I know there's two places we had to go.
Of diversity and heritage with loyal listeners, which also drives results. So you can see on the screen a list of our Tampa Bay radio stations, which we're very proud of. WQIK, the Heritage Country Station. WRBQ, Q105, Tampa Bay's Heritage Classic Hits Station. WYUU, the Hispanic Powerhouse, reaching more consumers than Telemundo and Univision combined. WYUU HD2 Tropical Spanish, WPBB, Tampa Bay's Classic Rock Station, The Shark, and Money Talks, Tampa Bay's Financial Talk and Lifestyle Station. So great mix of marketing vehicles right there for you. And now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Ollie, and he's going to tell you how to grow your business with digital.
Thank you. Yeah, so, as Sharon mentioned, we do different variety of things. We are on air with all our different radio stations. Von Seal will kind of cover on site with all of our different events, and then I will go over everything online. So all of our different digital capabilities. If you guys have any questions as we go through, just let me know. I'll basically just talk about all the different digital products there are, how they work, how you can try to use them during all the stuff that's going on. A lot of people are home now, so there are a lot more people that are on their computers, on their phones, streaming stuff on their TVs. So this is a good example to just kind of cover all of those bases. Before you do any digital products, I think the most important thing is going to be the creative. So making sure that your creative is up to date for the current time period, making sure that it relates to the audience you're actually trying to reach. You can reach the exact right person, but have the completely wrong messaging, and you're not going to be able to go ahead and be able to convert those people. So creative is one of the most important things when setting up your digital campaigns. One of the other more important things is Google Analytics. So the great thing about digital is you're able to measure almost every single thing about it. But you see a lot of reports come through with impressions, clicks, and click-through rate, but there's so much more to that. So you want to see how people are actually interacting when they come to your website. So I would always recommend that you have Google Analytics set up, whether you're running a digital campaign or not, because it allows you to really see how people are interacting on your site, what you may need to change. So if you see that you have a high bounce rate, a lot of people are coming to your site and then they're leaving right away. Maybe people are going in and they're going to one page on your form fill, but not completing the form. Having all of that stuff, having all that information is super helpful in being able to optimize your website and get people to where they need to go. So as far as the actual products, a lot of you are probably doing email within your own audience. So you might have a list of subscribers, but you can also do email acquisition ads. So this is basically an outreach program. You're trying to reach people based on their geography, their interests, their behaviors, their demographics. There's tons of different ways that you can reach people with email. So this, in this environment, you can reach out to tell people what you're doing differently, how you're keeping them safe, whether or not you're open. So all of those different things. So with omni-channel approach, you're reaching people through the email, but you can actually expand upon that. So what you can do is you can reach the people who are in your email list that you sent that email to. You can start following them everywhere. So you can serve those people ads on Facebook. You can serve them ads on all of the different sites that they're visiting. So you have their email address, you know the user, you kind of configure their IP address there, and then you can start following around. So they see it in their inbox, they see it on their Facebook, they see it on their Instagram, and that actually allows a better open rate because now you have a little bit more confirmation bias. People are more and more familiar with your brand and they're more likely to open that email. So retargeting tactics, these are kind of your stalker ads, but they're very important because it's very low funnel. You're getting people who are actually interested in what you're offering. So site retargeting is basically people who are going to your website and then they leave. You want to follow them around to get them to actually convert. So, you know, a lot of people are doing research for multiple different products. They're looking across different companies, across different brands before they decide what they actually want to do. So this kind of helps keep you top of mind. Maybe they came to your site first and then they went to 6 different ones. Well, you're still going to follow them with your banners so they know to continue to go to you. Contextual retargeting, you know, I think a lot of people are doing a lot of research now, especially when it comes to things like home services. People are trying to fix up their homes because they see every single problem with it because they're home all the time now and working from home. So maybe they're reading some articles about, you know, how to landscape, how to fix up my house, how to fix my plumbing, my AC, any of those different things. So when people are reading about articles about those different subjects, you can actually have banners or videos follow them around after the fact with your brand to show them how you can help them. And then keyword search retargeting. So we'll go over SEM a little bit later and pay-per-click, but this is basically when people go in and they search for something related to your product, you are then going to follow them around. So it doesn't show up right away in the search engine, but it will continue to follow those people and you know that they're interested in those products. Geofencing. So there's a few different ways to geofence. Obviously, there's a little bit of a limit right now with how many people are actually going to different places or going to, you know, different events or things like that. But you can still do this with home services type things. So for example, we've done it before for roofing where you have somebody who's going in, they're working on a job, they'll be there the whole week doing that whole new roof. As long as we have one of the addresses, we can actually go ahead and geofence that entire neighborhood. So people are driving by and they're seeing, oh, okay, well, my neighbor got this done. I can communicate with them. And then you're seeing the ads pop up on your phone, on your TV, wherever it is. So addressable geofencing, this is similar, but a little bit different. So this is based on the actual property line of those people. So again, you can do this based on demographic, behavioral. You can do it based on their income, the value of their property, the age of the home. So if you know that an AC unit runs out, you know, every 10 years, we can target homes that are 10 years old and serve them ads for saying, hey, you might be up for a new AC unit. This also works really well if you're doing any sort of direct mail. So if you're doing direct mail, you have that address list. You can actually serve them ads, again, on TV, videos, display ads, all those different things to those specific homes. So they're seeing it in their mail, they have the mailer, they have the physical, you know, piece there, and then they also have the digital ads that they're seeing. So it's all about frequency and trying to reach those people. And again, a lot more people are home right now, so reaching them at their home is of utmost importance. Foot traffic attribution, again, this is, you know, it varies a little bit now with all the stuff going on and depending on your product, but you're able to tell with geofencing and everything who actually converted onto your store. So we can see who actually saw the ad and then decided to take an action and convert by going into your physical location. So using all of those different tools, we can serve different types of creative. So we can do pre-roll videos. If you're watching videos on CNN or Fox or anything, you'll notice that a lot of the times you'll have a video come up beforehand. It's usually about 5 to 15 seconds. So that's a way that we can deliver those ads as well. Again, you can do it through the addressable, you can do it through keyword search retargeting, site retargeting, any of those things qualify those people as users. And then these are basically the different avenues to where you can reach those people. OTT again, so this is going to be largely on your big screen. A lot more people are streaming stuff at home. They're watching it all on their smart TVs, things such as Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, the list goes on and on. So again, you can target those people based on their behavior, based on their addresses, their demographic, all those different things, and actually serve them their ads. So it's kind of cool because it's like having TV spots, but on the big screen, and you have that super targeted way of doing it with the addressable and the geofencing and the keyword search retargeting. So it's a combination of like standard TV and digital. Social ads, I'm sure a lot of people are constantly scrolling through their phone and notice that they've been doing it a lot more recently. So this is a great way to reach people. Inventory has continued to go up for social ads. It's a great way to get engagement with people. So, you know, you're able to reach them with different types of ads. You can do it for brand awareness. You can do it just trying to reach as many people as possible. You can do social lead ads. So there's no limit to what you can do with social ads. If you pull it up and you scroll, you'll usually notice that your second or third thing that you see within your feed is a Facebook ad. And I think you'll notice a lot of times too, you'll be talking about something and then you'll see an ad pop up for it on Facebook or Instagram. So, you know, it's really targeted. You have great information there and you're really able to reach the people that are interested in your products. So again, as Sharon mentioned before, we have multiple stations here. So you can actually kind of piggyback off that with co-branded social. So basically what that means is you're partnering with a certain brand to try to reach more people who trust that brand. So in these examples, you know, we're using QIK. It has a huge audience there. You can actually say, you know, I want QIK to represent my brand. If you're doing any sort of on-air endorsement, this is kind of a great way to couple it. You can still reach those people specifically who would be interested in your project, but now you have the brand recognition of a QIK or of a Wild 94.1. And then, you know, to continue onto that, there's also the station banner ads and videos. So this is if you want to be on a specific site that you already know is the audience that you want to be. You're already doing something on air. You can actually reach those people on air, on the station ads, or on the station site and through the videos before they go on and listen online. You'll have an ad pop up for them. Okay. Then search engine marketing. This is kind of like the yellow pages, I think, for now. So you don't go, when you're trying to look for a business, you don't go through a big yellow page book and try to figure out, you know, where to go, who to call or anything. You Google it. So this is basically to get you to the top of the page. There's SEO, which takes a little bit longer time. It's all based on the quality and content of your website. But if you want to get to the top of the page right away, then SEM is the way to go. You basically build out a list of keywords that you think people would be searching for. And once they search for those different products, you pop up right on the front there. So this is especially important when you're looking at your mobile phone, because when you search for something on mobile, all of those above the fold are usually SEM ads. So, I mean, how many of you have really gone onto the second page of Google lately? All right. So the other important thing is just reporting. So we talked about Google Analytics earlier and how important it is to actually measure the results of your campaigns. And that's not just digital, that's everything. That's TV, that's radio. It's important to see how much your website reach is actually increased as you've been doing these different campaigns and how people are acting once they get to your website. So providing reporting is also important. Making sure you have a dashboard to be able to go in, looking at things in real time, figuring out, you know, what's working, what's not, what optimizations are being made, and then just kind of having a simple breakdown of, you know, here's the highlights, here is what we saw worked, here is what we're going to do to change it moving forward. So does anybody have any questions about any of the digital stuff? I didn't want to take up too much of your time. We'll provide our information. So if you have any more questions, you want to get into any deeper of a dive, I'm happy to do that. All right, so if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and pass it on to Von Seal.
Thanks for a few minutes of your time to share the power of event marketing. And we want to start with sharing a recap video from the 2019 Beasley events. We're going to start with Bark in the Park, which happens at Curtis Dixon Park in Tampa. It's been going on for over 30 years with the Humane Society. The home show we purchased from Turner Expositions about 2.5 years ago. We do this event 3 times a year. We have about 300 exhibitors 3 times a year that go to this show. Wild Splash, which is held at Coachman Park. Wild 94.1 hosts this event. We have about 14,000 people that come to this event every year. It's a pretty big event. It's a lot of fun. Maxima, our Hispanic station. This particular event is at Club Sky in Ybor City. It's one of our private performances. It's free to our listeners. We bring in an artist 3 times a year. Fiesta Maxima, we currently have been doing that at USF Sundome around Mother's Day. 3,000 to 4,000 people. It's a lot of fun. Bring in a couple of artists. We have a pre-party celebration prior to the event. Kids Day, Raymond James Stadium, back to school event, typically. It was enormous last year. A lot of fun, about 60 sponsors. 3 floors of fun. Kids got to go on the pirate ship and a lot of exhibitors and hands-on. It's free to kids 10 and under. We raised money for the Teachers Association. This was another event for our Hispanic station at Coachman Park, Hispanic Heritage in October. 8,000 to 9,000 people, great event. John's Pass Seafood Festival, usually in October. They're pushing it to January 2021 this year because of COVID. It's a huge event, great fun, outside. All of our stations participate at this event. Guitar Pull, Mahaffey Theater, QIK. It's about a 2,000 seat theater. If y'all are familiar with what a guitar pull is, it's 5 or 6 artists on stage at the same time, playing together, talking amongst themselves. It's a lot of fun. Mason's Car Show, we held that at Wiregrass Mall for the last couple of years. He raises money for his Christmas Wish Fund. It's a very largely attended event. Orlando's Toy Drive. He goes up on this tower. He stays up there for 6 days, sleeps there, raises a lot of money, gift cards, toys, bicycles for the children's home, lots of sponsors, fabulous event. Overall, in 2019, we brought about 350,000 people to all of our events. And now I'd just like to share with you some of the practices that we have in place to assist our sponsors in participating with us and having a successful experience. I'd like to just start with I'm not going to read all these slides because I understand that they're going to share these with you guys, but part of it is just being prepared. Well, all of it is about being prepared. And to follow up with some of Ollie's platforms that he just shared with you, use your social platforms to promote when you're going to an event. Let everybody that's already your customer or client know that you're going to an event. They like to know that. They want to come out and meet you, you know. I mean, I know you're participating in events to get new leads, but people want to know you, make it personal. So invite them to come and meet you and join you, and that's always a lot of fun. So that's kind of what that slide's about. Thank you, Ollie. Next slide. Going into an event, knowing what you're looking for in your return on your investment is always a great thing. Of course, having a plan. Every event's different, what level of sponsorship you can afford or you want to do. So just kind of have in mind, you know, and share that with your team so that they know what is expected of them in leads and sales generation. So you just have a plan in place. Next slide, please. So here's just 7 real basic principles that I've used just for a really long time, and I've shared with clients along the way. You know, event selection is really just so important. It's like picking your audience when you're deciding what advertising, how to spend your money in general. Every event is a little bit different. Different people come to different events. You know, make sure you ask the questions and you know what's going to be going on at the event so you can get an idea of who's going to be there and does it really fit your product, or you're just really wasting your money, because not all events are the same for sure. So event selection is really important. So just make sure you ask the right questions. So that's what this sheet is all about. Next sheet, please. Bounce back. When you're planning on what you're taking with you, you know, don't be afraid to be generous, because, you know, the amount of those pieces of paper or whatever that make it back can be, you know, not huge anyway. So make it free, make it BOGO, make it something valuable so that they make it back so that you can see it, and make sure you put on it what event you passed it out at so that you can really, really, really maybe see if it was part of the ROI for that particular event. Thank you. Demo and sampling, you know, I've seen this even more than ever now that we own the home show. People taking the extra time and effort to create a sample of their product, whether it's a, you know, a small flooring area or a fence or a window, or, you know, small samples of whatever their product is. Really taking the time that if you're going to spend the money and the time on being at an event, you know, be prepared and have samples. If you can't have samples, you know, have a couple computers out so that you can show your website, or you can be looping a video or something to really showcase your product, because that's what events are about, to really have a one-on-one experience with people. And that's what events provide you. So it's really awesome. Thank you. Lead generation, obviously really important. When we do walkthroughs before every event, I try to always remind our sponsors that when, you know, 10,000 people, 15,000 people, whatever, all have their phones on, internet connections can be sketchy at best. So, you know, bring your own, you know, connection and all of that, because if you're planning on using your laptops for whether it's showcasing your product or using it because you have a program on it that you want to put your leads on, you know, you could not be able to get online. So just be prepared. So for lead generation, same thing, just be prepared, and also make sure that you really talk to your staff, whoever you have on staff, the importance of lead generation. if I could show you the amount of pictures that I've taken walking through our events of staff sitting under tents at tables, looking down at their phones, talking to each other. And then after the event, the salesperson comes to me and says, oh, my client is so unhappy with the event because they didn't get enough leads. And I said, well, here, show them these pictures of what their staff was doing during the event. Maybe they need to just maybe talk to their staff a little bit, because there were plenty of people there to get a lot of leads. So anyway, that's just sidebar. Again, good staff, good leads, prepare your staff, talk to them, reward them for good leads. You know, if you close something, you get an appointment, or at least get an appointment with a good lead, you know, reward whoever it was that you put on the team for that event, because you'll get them to work a lot harder and pay attention, and that's really good. Another great thing about events is that you get feedback from your customers, whether they're already customers or potential customers. It's great to get to talk to them about your product. You'll get like the real story a lot of times, because they're not in your store, they're out at an event, so they're all carefree. You can ask them, what do you think of the event? You already have our phone. Well, what do you think of the service? Take notes, take it back to your shop. You know, I mean, it's a really good opportunity to really get some unbiased opinions. Next, please. Unique swag. If you're going to spend a little bit of money on anything with your logo on it to take out, it's always great to be able to do something that maybe complements the event if you can. Next slide, please. This is a good example of Bark in the Park. Banfield Hospital was one of our sponsors, and we made some doggy bandanas for them, put their logo on them, and you know, that was just a really fun way. We put it in the package. It was part of their sponsorship so that they could, you know, have something cool that was relevant to the event, which was fun. Next slide. Adequate staffing, again, you know, having enough people to make sure that you make the most of your investment. And then maybe one of the most important pieces is, you know, your plan for post-event. After the event, being prepared for follow-up. Next slide, please. Have your touches already planned, at least 3 touches already planned, a little script made out for whoever it is that's going to do, your salespeople that are going to do that for you. Maybe it's an additional offer than what you did at the event, and just having it ready to go so that you follow up and again reach your ROI, so that you can feel like whatever money you invested in that event, that you got your return. And that is it. Those are just like really basic steps for a successful event. Plan, execute, and follow up. That's it. Thank you.
So if anyone has any questions for Ollie or Von Seal, any questions about digital or event marketing, we'd be happy to help. And our contacts are there on the screen, of course. We're going to be, I guess, sharing the slides. The chamber will be sharing the slides, so you guys will have all this info at your fingertips, but all 3 of us are there on this slide, and we'd be more than happy, because we went through this information pretty quickly. There's a lot more to all of this. So we'd be more than happy to do another seminar for you, some one-offs for your business, or, you know, we can set up anything virtually right now. I know most of the time we need to do virtual for any group meetings, but we'd be happy to do that for anyone on this call.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Beasley Media, all of you guys. That was amazing information. As somebody who works in events, I found it particularly suitable to what we do. So I'm going to leave the Zoom open for about 10 to 15 minutes. If anybody does have extra questions, and like Sharon said, we will be sending the slide deck and the recording to everybody on this call. So if you have any follow-up questions, their information will be in that as well. But thank you again so much.
You're very welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Our pleasure.